If you open a magazine, you're going to see 10 supermodels. And if one of them is AI, please tell me what the difference is in the brain. It's the same. It's just that one is AI generated.
Valentina and Andreea, thank you so much for joining us on AI Haven't a Clue. So for those who don't know, can you tell us, what is it that you do and why have you been making so many headlines recently?
Thank you for having us. Do you want to explain what we do?
Thank you for having us. Well, we're Seraphinne Vallora. We are an AI marketing agency. We specialize in making AI-driven editorial images for fashion brands and luxury brands as well as real estate. We do AI-driven images, but they are not only AI. We use a variety of workflows because we're designers, and design is at the heart of everything we do. We don't see it as just doing AI images. It's art and a design work behind it.
And it's not an obvious place. Tell us about how you guys met. I mean, people would think you've done like fashion together or it's some sort of thing, but it's something different, isn't it? Tell us.
Yeah, well, we met in university because we are architects. So when we studied architecture, we met in university, actually in London at University of Westminster. So that's how we met and we became close friends. And, years later, we started a company together.
And where does the AI bit come in? Is that sort of inherent to when you were studying, what you're doing in architecture?
So it was more because we always talked about having a company. We were quite entrepreneurial. So we will do many all-nighters at university. And we will be in the library talking about having a company and doing something. And years later, we thought about starting a jewelry business. And
why jewelry? Jewelry because we were working in architecture, but we were kind of tired and we wanted something completely passive and different.
Right. And and we said, let's design something beautiful, but we want to make a marketing campaign, but we just finished uni. We don't have the budget to do a marketing campaign, but we have the skills. And we also have, we can do market research, we thought. So let's see what can go viral. And that's when we thought, let's make an AI model that is gorgeous. She can go viral. And let's make marketing campaigns with this AI model wearing our products.
Yeah, because we can place her in any environment. Like we, again, studied architecture. We design environments. Why not design our environments for the marketing campaigns? And that's how we started. We placed our jewelry on the models. Actually, this jewelry.
It's lovely.
It was called SV Allure, but it doesn't exist anymore.
And so other companies saw what we were doing and decided, well, that's a good idea and we can use it as well. And so they contacted us. And we started working with brands and switched from jewelry to marketing.
Yeah, it's because of the approach we had. We had a very design-led approach. So when we made our images on Instagram, they were going really viral. So we started the account from zero. We never paid ads. And in 4 months, we were interviewed in Wall Street Journal. And the journalists approached us because they were so impressed by the fact that we were making this AI model. So we were the first company to be offering the service. So we were kind of like, without realizing back then, we were pioneering a new industry just for a simple necessity that we had. And we were trying to solve a problem that we had. And later on, we realized other people have the same problem and we have the skills to solve that problem. So that's how we pivoted into that.
And you both are a tour de force and also a brilliant... We talk a lot about AI and the negatives. Oh, it's coming for our jobs. And you talk about just brilliant example of how you can find new space, new territory, new creativity using this new technology. Now, in a minute's time, I want to ask you about that campaign. You know what I'm talking about. But before we get there, can you just tell us a little bit about how you go about creating your AI marketing material? So let's say it's an AI model in a campaign wearing your jewellery or a pair of jeans or whatever it might be. How do you go about creating that piece of work?
We approach it, our approach is very design-led. We have many stages, but first we start with understanding the brand that we're talking with and going to work with. We understand what they're trying to do, what they've done in the past, what they're all about.
Their DNA.
Their DNA, essentially. And so we create an AI model around their brand that fits their needs. And then we create a marketing campaign that is in line with what they've done before or what they're trying to achieve. And so there are many steps around that. First, you create the model. Then you take some pictures of the product. And there you introduce a model and a photographer into our workflow. And after that, you finally just bring them all together into another AI, which is the last one. steps in our process.
Yeah, the prompting is like the 5%, and there is this huge misconception
Yeah.
of, oh well, everything is prompting and it takes a minute, and we are like, this took years to develop this technique that we were building because we saw the issue, like the problem that the industry had and how we can solve it, but the technology was not there. So we built creative workflows that could give us results that were the same quality as traditional photo shoots. So it's not as simple as just prompting something. There is stages. As Andreea said, we have to first study the brand DNA. Why do we need to study the brand DNA? Because if we are not in line with what you're currently doing, then people are going to know it looks
It's
fake.
AI.
It's AI.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
We wanted companies to have two choices that were
Like
the
a
same.
fair solution.
A fair solution and two choices that were the same quality, because then you take them both seriously. So yeah, it's a variety of workflows to get to what we do.
So it's really not as easy as a prompt, and also it's not as easy as people think. Oh, AI, in 5
Yeah.
minutes I get the campaign.
No.
Really, it's
No,
not like
there's
that.
stages, and the design stages are complex. We are very efficient, so it's not like we take long. But think of a traditional photo shoot. What do you do before you take a photo? You press click in the camera. You prep the team. You fly the team. You set the design vision. You hire the models. You bring everyone on board. There is a preparation.
Yeah.
So at the end, you only do a click. It's the same for us. It's just that at the end, we do,
A
in the
prompt.
computer,
It's the
a
last
prompt,
click.
the last stage. But in order to get a successful output, the setup of the machines and the codes and everything needs to be set up very well.
Yeah.
So
And
there's
beforehand.
and
Yeah, so
beforehand.
that takes a little time. Of course, now we do it fast, but it is a lot of work. Like it's difficult work as well.
It's complex. The only reason why we succeeded is because we're architects and we bring
Yeah.
all of this skills and knowledge in architecture, and we also studied. I did digital media and art and design, and you did.
I'm a painter, but I studied maths and
Yeah.
physics.
So we bring so many.
I mean, I'm
So we bring-
Romanian. We do a lot of maths.
So we bring a lot of skills. We also have a developer in our team. So it's not like a simple. I wish it was as simple as
Yeah.
prompting. Honestly, this
That
would have
would be
been.
good.
But everyone would be doing
beautiful
it. There
for
would
us.
be so many
Unfortunately
companies
not.
doing it if it
We
were
actually-
easy. I think
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
Oh,
point.
and we actually had a call yesterday with this, potential client who said, I tried to do this, and I realized AI is against doing something specific. So for me to put the clothes into the models, that is impossible. Like
She was clapping and we were-
I don't know how you managed to do it, because AI in itself is meant to create variation.
Yeah.
So she was like, how did you manage to do something exactly
Oh my
the
God.
same? And we, when we work with clients, just like traditional photography, we
Yeah,
send them like even hundreds of choices in raw images with the products integrated. So we have really good workflows.
We have workflows because we thought, okay, if we want to give them the two choices, traditional photo shoot and AI photo shoot, let's call it like that,
Yeah.
we wanted the process to be very similar to traditional photo shoot. So the question was, how can we build workflows that are similar to, that give similar results, but the design process is digital instead of in person. So that's why when we send the result, we send several raw images to choose from. They are high quality, they are still usable. It's just that we edit the last ones at the end.
It's so interesting to get a little insight into
Yeah, I
how it works, what goes on behind the scenes. Let's get into the marketing story that has genuinely swept the world, whether it's CNN, ITV, BBC News. You would have probably read about the Guess AI ad, which was featured right at the front of Vogue. Can you talk us through that from how it started through to the media whirlwind that the last few weeks have been for you both?
Well, how it started. We have this Instagram account with many, many followers, now 250,000.
No, 30, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry. 20K less, but in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, give it. Yeah, by the time this comes out.
And what happened is that Paul Marciano, which is the co-founder and creative director of Guess, texted us on Instagram. But he texted us and we didn't see it for 9 months.
No.
So 9 months, just because we received so
And
many
not only
messages.
him, also the creative directors of the US team. We later found their
And
text.
Europe.
You ghosted the
three.
Guess boss.
We ghosted them.
We just didn't see the message. But then we decided, okay, let us text him back. Probably it's gone.
We
Like,
let it
probably it's
go
not
at
gonna
this
happen
point.
At this point. But he texted us right away and he invited us to Lugano. We showed him kind of what we can do, a portfolio. He invited us to Lugano. He flew in as well.
And the
with his
team
team
from the US.
US and Europe, and we all met, and we met his guest family. That's how
Beautiful
he calls it.
family. It's also because he told us, I have been looking a bit of AI because back then it was not
Right.
a thing yet. And he was like, you guys make stories. And he could appreciate how we think about styling, composition, model, poses. We think about everything. We see this as art. For us, is almost like Seraphinne Vallora was almost like an alter ego of this elegant woman
And a
that
creative
a
outlet.
creative outlet for
Yeah,
us. We're creatives at heart. And not at heart, we're creatives.
Yeah.
And so for us, it was kind of a fun thing to do. Every day we will sit down and think of a stories that we will build so he could see the creative side of everything we were doing. And he really liked it. He said, I'm really impressed because I can see the creativity that is behind this and I really want to try this. So when we went, obviously he was very open-minded because it's something that no brand had ever
Yeah.
done before. And he was very open to
But
hearing.
he was decisive.
He was decisive
He
and-
knew what he wanted.
Obviously, we flew there. It's
Yeah.
like he invited us. It was within a week. We were in Lugano, and he was very, very lovely. Like he was incredibly just open and receptive, and he's a visionary. And he
Yeah.
loved the idea. And he just gave us a stage to show this to the world. He really.
He truly is the one who placed it out there by his choice. They obviously still did. So this is not replacing. They obviously still did their campaigns with
Yeah.
their photographers and models. And at the end of the day, I think he just chose between this and that to place it in magazines and billboards. And I think he split the storefronts between us and his photographers. And just so happened he placed us in Vogue in that edition.
As you
and-
do.
It's also because he loved the
other-
results, and
Yeah,
he
he
also saw
genuinely
how
did.
much we worked for this campaign,
Yeah.
and we truly over delivered.
Why
for
did
this
he go?
campaign.
Why did he go with your version? Why did he go with the AI copy, the piece of work that you created? Why did he pick that for Vogue over the human model, the real photograph? Why did he go with you guys?
It's a little almost like different, and it's fantasy, and it was a beautiful thing to try. He has always been trying new things. He's
Right.
a visionary. He is always.
He's
I
always
think-
setting trends.
I'm
and-
not sure, but I think he's also the one who, when Vogue used to do portraits on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed at some point in time when Anna Wintour came to other types of images, and I think Guess was also the one who was on the
Right.
cover then when they changed. So he really is always moving trends and starting trends, and
Yeah.
he's just a trendsetter.
He also it was, by the way, we didn't know. So when we started the campaign, we had the conversation in Lugano. He was like, well, maybe I put it in a storefront, maybe, but
Right.
and
if
we were
Okay.
like,
if it's
yeah,
nice, I
and then
can
we
put it
never,
there.
we never thought we did think, obviously it was in the back of our head, but we never thought it would be, he put us in over 30 magazines worldwide, in over 30 storefronts across the globe. We are in every storefront in Europe. We're in the US, Las Vegas, LA, Italy.
Would it have been different for you if you'd known, if he'd have said at that point,
No,
I
because
want to
we
do this and I'm going to put it in
we
Vogue"?
over-delivered in this campaign. We truly did. We work incredibly hard because we love Guess. We respect the brand and they are incredibly
Yeah, we
iconic.
used to shop at Guess. I mean,
Yeah, like it's an
obviously, growing
iconic
up.
brand, and we saw Paul as this almost like this figure that we were like, we really want him to look at our
impress
work
him,
and love the work. So we truly, when we were working with Guess, we improved our workflows as we were working with them. We said, let's do the best we can so we can show him, because we know
Him and his team, because they were also very patient and understanding, and it's something so new that they welcomed, that we were just really thankful that we wanted to over deliver.
Yeah, we were, and with any client really, we always look to over deliver because you need to add value when you're selling a service, especially when you're thinking about something creative that you're doing. When you limit yourself, you're limiting your creativity. So many times we really get into the project and we just want to do more because we love the results, and we just love doing and what we do. We love what we do. It's a very
Well, clearly,
That's what we mean by-
the proof is in the pudding that you were the ad that was chosen. You were the creative that's chosen.
But we
I'd love.
send them many things, just to add here. We send them so many things, just what it means to over-deliver. They send us many looks, and we send them 2-3 locations
per look.
like in, tens of images in each. Like
Yeah.
It end up to thousands of images that we
Wow.
send to them.
Yeah.
Whereas
A lot of
traditionally
work.
it would be one location and
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
And we send
Got
them
it.
so many locations, I don't even
Because we
remember.
did many poses. You have to bear in mind, it's the first time in history that a brand this big does a global campaign with AI. So for them, it was also something very new.
Yeah.
And we're working with a brand for the first time of this magnitude, and we don't know exactly what they like or what they don't like, or we don't know. So we also did it, so they had plenty to choose from. So and they had plenty. They were very thankful. They never complained. They never came back saying we don't like this. Never. They said, girls, perfect, approved. Next.
Initially, they approved like 30 images and then narrowed it down to it.
Yeah, had to narrow it down.
The AI model, who has now been on news fronts everywhere, news pages everywhere, stores everywhere, been in vogue. Has that model got? Have you given it a name? Her name?
Vivienne, of
Vivienne?
course. Yeah, every model has name.
And will Vivienne? No, Vivienne.
We
is
call it Vivi, but her
Vivi
name is Vivienne.
So Vivi is right now one of the most famous models in the world.
Oh my God, yes.
Is Vivi coming back? Is Vivi
Of
going to be in
course,
the future?
yeah, Vivi's available.
It's so
Exclusive.
available.
Vivi is available for bookings.
Available is available for booking, yeah. So
That's amazing, isn't
so
it?
when we talk to clients, we have a selection of models, and
Yeah.
we show them. We have Vivi, Anastasia, Margot,
Or
and
we can do their own.
we can do their own as well. So you have an option to choose from our Instagram or from our catalog, or we can build you one based on your branding. So as we mentioned earlier, when we're working with brands, the first stage always is studying the brand DNA. And in the brand DNA, there is always the model. What type of model? Because based on the model is how we know your client, who is your target audience, is defined by your model. So
I mean, Guess
yeah.
has always done these beautiful young women that are,
goddess. We met them. We met them. We went and got it.
Yeah,
We met them. We were like, oh my goodness. They were stunning.
tall, stunning, perfect body, perfect
Yeah.
face, like, incredibly beautiful.
Incredible.
So that's what we did.
Yeah, we were not going to do a model that was not in line with Guess. It's not our place. And that's a huge conversation going on right now of like, well, you should tell brands to do, to try this type of things. I'm like, no, that's not
we
knowing
cannot
your place.
change-
Yeah.
we cannot change
in
the
your
type of
industry.
beauty that
Yeah.
you
I do understand. So it's a really interesting point, actually, because I do completely understand what you're saying in terms of, Guess I'm not going to create an ad with a real human model who is not conventionally an attractive, beautiful person. I would love to, I suppose, being the devil's advocate on this, I'd love to flip the question round, because what would you say on this topic? What would you say to the people that, with everything that's going on with social media and beauty standards and perceptions, especially young people have around the way that they look? What would your response be to that? Because obviously it's something that people have asked you.
We love this
Yeah,
question.
So what would your response be to the people that go, is it right that we're sculpting the most beautiful person and it's not realistic because they're not real? What's your response to that?
So we have several answers, but we want to start by one thing. We're talking about young people here that are getting influenced. And I just checked our analytics a few days ago, and we have under 1% of people under 25 that follow us.
Oh, wow.
Most of them are 25 to 44.
And kids shouldn't be on social media, by
but
the way. Yeah.
35 to 44 are most of our followers, 70% women. And we always received only positive comments from them because they took it as art. But also, like, you really just don't compare yourself that much with something that's not real, because it's just non-existent. Like, you don't compare with a painting, you don't compare with a very, very good sculpture, or even digital photography is still digital medium when you see it in front of you on a screen.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to think about there is just so much to this question, because first, we're working in an industry that already has this beauty standard set.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to break into an industry and have a name, I'm not going to come here setting trends or trying something different. Then I'm not going to succeed. I'm not going to capture the public, because they have done the ways that they have done things have worked for a reason. They have studied the market the same way that we studied the market. When we started our account, we studied how people responded to our content. So we did try different types of beauty. People didn't
at the
respond to
beginning.
that. People responded to the type of beauty we do on our social media. So the question is, why are they responding to that? Why aren't they responding to what they keep saying they want? But the moment you present what they want, they don't engage with it. And so we don't have, at this point when we started our company, we didn't have resources. We actually started with zero investment. We didn't put zero anything. Our family didn't help us financially. We didn't start with any investment. So we have to think like a company. How can we attract clients organically? How can we convert our viewers?
And
That was the
maximize the
answer.
time that we put into making this content, because obviously you make content and you need to convert into clients, potentially meetings, doors that open. And so you take, 2 days to make a video or 10 hours to make a video. You want to make sure it does well.
Yeah.
And we just analyze trends, and that's what it did well, what we post.
Yeah.
Also, you have to think about photo shoots. Okay, so people say, "Oh, well, this is unrealistic. These AI things are unrealistic." Let's think for a second what a photo shoot involves.
Yeah.
A makeup artist, lighting, editing. That's not real life. That's a fantasy world. A photo shoot is a fantasy world. Same thing as AI.
Yeah.
It's exactly. Also, we
But
create.
they're blurred, which is why I say it's a bit more freeing maybe to
Yeah,
know
but
that
we-
it's an AI creation, because a real woman is being like actually retouched,
Yeah,
actually
That's
photoshopped
true.
to look like that.
But we're also creating environments that are unrealistic, same thing that you do in traditional photo shoots. So truly it's not different. Also, if you open a magazine, you're going to see 10 supermodels, and if one of them is AI, please tell me what the difference is in the brain. Is the same. It's just that one is AI generated. The content that we create is the same quality that a traditional photo shoot, and we're simply responding to what the client requests. So
But if the client wants a plus size model,
We can do a plus size model.
older
Yeah, so you're saying you will respond.
We can do it.
We are
The
responding
brand
to
will, you'll listen to the
we're a
brand, you'll
tool.
give the
Yeah,
brand
for
what they
sure.
want. So do you think, if your example there was really interesting, so you're flicking through Vogue, your ad is in there, and there's 8 others, supermodels, touch up,
Supermodel.
etc. Do you think your ad, given the context of what you just said, do you think your ad should have a very clear disclaimer that it's AI?
Well, it does have.
It does have it.
And do you agree with that? That,
Oh,
that
well,
it needs
me personally, I think if the result, let's say you're a brand and you hire a model, you put her in a stage setting, and I do a model and I put her in a stage setting, and they look exactly the same. How does it differ in the brain of a human being if the results exactly the same? If a brand approaches us, they are either going to hire a supermodel that looks perfect and edit her, or they're going to make a supermodel with us and the result will be exactly the same. So actually, it's not about us. It's more about, I'm not talking about the brands. I'm talking about the beauty industry and the
But
fashion
it's
industry is
actually
how
the
it
beauty
is.
industry comes from the consumer, because look, we did a test even
Yeah.
last week. We posted a row
We
of
tried.
different type of beauty.
And it's a terrible
We-
engagement.
Horrible. Like, imagine we get 61,000 likes on some images,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
you know how many we did?
Well, you can-
600 for the different type of beauty. Look at the difference.
Look at the difference. It's
The
just
consumer truly dictates the market, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
industry.
we have an image that we posted like 3 weeks ago before this thing, and all of our images actually back then, they have, one of them has 31k likes, 7k, 10k, 12k. After this, we said since they are saying that we must, let's try it out. And we tried it out. Our engagement dropped significantly.
Yeah.
People are not engaging with those images because they don't sell this fantasy world. Once again, they are not connecting
But you
to
don't
that.
want to relate to a fashion photo shoot.
I don't.
want to
There's some
relate like
escapism.
I just don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
open Vogue and see a woman with a washed face waking up from her bed. I just don't. Photo shoots in real, like,
glamour.
it's glamour, it's
Yeah.
art, it's a self-expression, it's a team behind it. Same whether there is a team behind the AI images that we create,
Yeah.
a design process,
Yeah.
and it's just digital. We just build it digitally instead of
Yeah, it's
traditionally.
just, it's just a different medium.
Yeah.
And I think on the kind of the flagging and tagging thing, it should go further. If we're going to have to say that it's AI, then
By the
the
way.
real stuff should be flagged to say, well, this has been touched up in Photoshop.
Retouched in
and
Okay,
Photoshop.
yeah,
this
they
was
should
lit
put
in
it.
this way. Like,
Thank you
it should,
so
everything
much.
should be flagged
Also,
because none of
another-
it's real.
I don't know if I agree with that, James, but it's a whole other debate.
Well, another thing is that we read, which this is actually a good point to make, is that they say, well, it's AI, so the product is not real. This is so not true
It's
because
not true.
we build the product digitally. So we do not place the product on top. We build the product
Right.
No,
from
we build
code.
a database.
They build a database.
So we take the pictures of the product on real model to see how it looks like, how it folds, how the light hits it, everything real about the product and how it looks like. We take a real photographer to photograph those, and then we create, a database where we rebuild it through the AI.
We build
Got
it
it.
digitally, basically.
So-
So the output is photos of the product. It's
Yeah,
not
got it.
So it's
really,
accurate.
it's the
Got it,
actual
got it.
product. So it's not AI, it's just the way it gets incorporated in the model. But the product itself, the information of the product is all photos. So you're seeing the actual product. So that was
The fit, the fabric,
the fabric, the
everything.
way the light hits everything is the actual product.
Yeah.
So it's not AI is the medium where you get the output, but it's not that the product is AI.
Yeah, we actually encourage ladies to go in Guess and try out the clothes and tell us if it looks different, because it does.
looks the
It's
same.
Yeah,
100%
100%.
accurate.
Well, it's this real thing. Look, I grew up in an era of Kate Moss and Naomi Campbell
we
and
love
Heidi
them.
Klum and all these
Yeah,
sort of
beautiful
supermodels
ladies.
of the
We love them.
90s and
We
the
also
early
make AI
90s.
avatars. For them.
Is Vivi the future? She's sort of the
She's
future
the
Kate
future,
Moss. She's
yeah.
going to be the kind of the supermodel that we hold up.
She can be the future. I mean, we can do any type of supermodel beauty. That was what we did for Guess, but we can do any type of supermodel beauty, and we can even clone real people.
Yeah, so
with
that's
their,
another thing.
With their permission.
Yeah.
So we do AI twins to 100% accuracy.
Interesting.
So, for example, let's say I make you or any of you guys. It's not only it looks like.
You wouldn't want that. That would
Okay,
get,
then
you-
let's
you-
say
that
we
would get
do
no
Kate
likes on
Moss.
Instagram. You lose followers.
Let's do we do Kate Moss.
There we
Okay,
go.
just as an
Yeah,
example.
better.
We not only do like a look-alike. No, we are talking about a twin, a digital version of
Wow.
you that you can see every pore, eyelash, eyelash hair, makeup,
But
makeup.
style, that's important. The
Style.
style and the vibe of her,
Poses
her
as well.
poses, her
Have you had
body,
any
everything.
conversations with like the estate, let's say like the estate of like Marilyn Monroe, for example, or Elvis Presley? Have you had any conversations with anyone like that about taking rights to imagery of people and making new campaigns with their looks? That
Well,
could be
yeah,
phenomenal.
some models that also worked with Guest kind of texted us after the campaign to do their digital twin, AI twin. Is obviously with their permission. They give us themselves. They give us
Right.
permission in
They
writing.
said they were hitting the images at the end of the day. They need to send
Yeah.
us the images, so we cannot build them without their permission.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, they send us all of their
Yeah.
images, and they release that we can use them for the scope. And
We do
then
not use them
obviously we
outside.
don't use them outside of the scope.
Because
Yeah,
it's
got it.
so realistic that you cannot tell.
Wow.
If you look at the AI, it's like you are shocked. I made myself, and I was just like scared. I was like, this is too much
It is
to
scary.
handle.
It's
It's
exactly
scary.
like you,
It's
every
every
little
little thing, like even the things that you don't like. It's like it learns exactly the way you look, the way you move, the way you behave, everything. It's, for example, every person when they take photo shoots, especially models, they have signature poses. So
Yeah.
we study that. We study the way they pose, the way they move their hips or things like that, their hands. We teach the machine also the nails, little things, maybe
Everything.
marks, absolutely
wedding
everything.
ring,
Wedding
anything.
ring, or signature necklaces that maybe you wear.
the
so-
makeup. That's an
Makeup,
important
yeah.
one. If they have a signature makeup, you
Right.
can literally see the outline of their lips, how they do their makeup, every single detail.
So we always say, whatever you send, you have to make sure you like it because that's what you're gonna receive at the end. It's just-
only pictures you love.
You know, we talk a lot on this podcast about the power of AI, but we also talk a lot about the dangers of AI. And the one thing, whoever we speak to, whatever expert comes on, whenever we're having a conversation is, we need humans, good humans, to power what we're doing, to look after what we're doing, and to make sure the technology is being used in the right way. And I think you both are a brilliant example
Yeah.
of this technology in the wrong hands. I have big questions about how it could be used. However, you two are so passionate and clever and thoughtful, and you really care about what you do, and you use it in a responsible way. And the way that you're talking there about you would only use models of twin, you would only use twins of models in a responsible way.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's great. So I love that your kind of passion and your attitude towards it, and it's definitely what we need for responsible use of this technology. What does the future look like in this space? What's next? What's to come? What are you both excited for?
We cannot say too much, but many things are moving right now,
Yes, Chris.
and we truly believe the entire industry will accept it very, very soon.
Yeah.
Because we're talking to many people from all angles of the industry, which are kind of, at the top.
At the top, yeah.
And they're very excited about it because they understand there's a real need in the market.
The real
real
problem we're
problem.
solving. Yeah.
Because it just truly, it takes 2 to 4 months for a real photo shoot to happen,
Or more.
or
Yeah.
even more. It's really expensive.
You need to think about the permits. There's a lot of logistics that people don't really understand that go behind a photo shoot. It can take so long, and big companies cannot afford, or even if they have the budget, they
don't
cannot
have the
afford. They don't have
time.
the time, the logistics to deal with, let's say, 4, 8 photo shoot, 4, 5, 6 photo shoots. But we think, how can we supplement you guys? You can continue with your 2 shootings, and then we can supplement, or we can take, for example, if you don't want to include a model, we can do product photography. So we can do
Only
AI product
product.
photography. So it can be only your bag. We can put it in any stage setting, any location worldwide. We also work with real estate, by the way. We do lifestyle shots for real estate. So we take as architects, obviously we saw this as a problem. We said, okay, these renders look kind of boring. We don't see a living experience going on in the render. How can we add life to these
But
renders?
that's actually more than that for architecture. So when you start a project, it takes a very long time from start to completion, but
Yeah.
clients want to be able to sell it from the very early stages.
Oh, so you can give them something
And so we can
quicker.
give them
Yeah.
people in the spaces from literally the very first
And they
stage.
look realistic, and it looks like a living space.
Yeah.
So there is,
And videos,
yeah.
not just pictures.
The
Videos too.
yeah, exactly.
And can I ask a question about accessibility as well? Because it's great, Guess and Chanel and any other luxury brands, they can afford these big shoots they would have done anyway. It does AI as a bit of a leveler for kind of challenger, smaller fashion brands that want to come in who probably couldn't afford models, they couldn't afford the type of photographers. Does it make it more accessible for newcomers, new to category people?
Yes, it's more accessible, but I'm not saying the service is cheap. I'm just saying it's more accessible in terms of maybe they can only do 2 campaigns a year,
Yeah.
and that would be very expensive for small brands. And they can come with us, and we give them either a model from our catalog,
Vivi.
or we create a model for them.
Vivi's going to be in demand. I think she's not.
Vivi ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Anastasia as well. They actually did it, Vivi and Anastasia.
And and basically they just send us their products, and we build them, and we can push content out for them very quickly once we
Nice.
have them at any point in time in the year. So it's really, really useful.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing 2 big photo shoots,
Got it.
they can sign with us.
But it's also how we can service luxury brands, because there is a huge market in luxury brands. When we actually started doing this, we ask ourselves what do we need to do in our technology so we can service huge brands in the level that they require. So we build workflows that are especially for luxury brands as well, so we can create editorial level campaigns. So for example, when it comes to luxury brands, they can supplement, as we mentioned earlier, even if they have the budget, logistics is incredibly difficult to get the permits to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
this. Like it's
And
incredibly
tiring. They would need
tiring.
several teams to be able to do more campaigns that they're already doing,
Yeah.
handling just those campaigns.
So our thing is how can we create a service and a product that is in the level of traditional photo shoots for luxury brands, and that's where we are at right now. That if a company, regardless of the level, but let's say we're talking about luxury, they come to us with a request, we can tell them we can do anything you want,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we have built workflows that are so advanced that we can bring any vision to life, and we can do it creatively. And we can also, for example, let's say you're doing a photo shoot, let's say you are Chanel and you're doing a photo shoot and you don't like it. With us, you can test concepts as well,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
yeah,
see
yeah,
product
yeah.
integration. You can test so much location.
stage
And you've not
settings.
bought models, you've not flown them out to
Yeah.
Bogota
Or
to
even
do
if you want to
something, or-
continue with, because they will continue with the traditional models, they can test the concept with us, and maybe they do it in person, and
Got
then they
it.
complement with our models, and maybe they can pump more content for their social media,
Yeah.
for their websites.
Yeah.
The question is, how can we get to more customers in a way that doesn't reduce the quality of our work and is sustainable? So we can solve 2 problems here. We solve the problem of the luxury brands, but also of the startups that they want an editorial level campaign that can cost $4 million or 5, and we can, as in traditionally, and then we say, well, it's not going to cost you $5 million, so now you can get editorial level campaigns for way less,
Yeah.
way less.
I mean, of course,
no.
200K campaign versus
But-
much
Much
lower for
cheaper,
us.
but like, you know what I mean? It's more like you are a startup, you don't have the opportunity to show your product in an editorial level way, and not suddenly you do. So the question here is, why are we not looking at the good things of this and the things that can actually help so much people? We can help so many companies and people when they're starting companies.
Awesome.
It's such an inspiring story.
It really is
My
amazing.
my final question
Yeah.
for you both is AI the death of the supermodel?
Oh,
Oh,
No.
no, because we love to see human people as well. Like, genuinely speaking, I really don't believe any models will be affected, and plus they can be introduced in the workflow. We can do digital twins and dress them in any clothes from any designers and be the stars of the campaigns themselves. So realistically, if they would welcome this technology, they would free up their time to do many other things while campaigns are being done by us as well. So.
But not only that, photography is the heart photography and the modeling world is the heart of fashion. So we are not here to challenge that or change that. We always say we are here to supplement, to bring other alternatives, to bring options. It doesn't mean that we cannot coexist together in the industry. We can coexist together. We don't have to compete against each other. We can take from each other. We encourage photographers to learn about AI because it's here to stay, and you have to embrace it.
Amazing.
Instead of just saying that.
It's like, when internet arrived and you had physical stores,
Yeah.
and then you moved to e-commerce and you are now selling online, but also in physical
Yes,
stores.
exactly.
Same thing. Where
Two
computers came out
options.
and people were scared, and now they cannot live without computers.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just a small change. People are scared, but the moment we flip the script and we say, "Hey, how does this benefit us? What is the good in this?" People are gonna start
Yeah.
feeling fear when they realize that we're not trying to replace anybody. We're trying to help you guys. We're trying to help and to bring options to the
And it's
industry.
really beautiful for people who see it because, for example, we have an artist, well known, but we cannot really say the name right now, who just contacted us to do a collaboration with an artist, AI and art. Like these things are, they're being accepted right now.
Also, what we told you earlier about the fact that we are two young women that
Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We were
Amazing
25.
story.
We started without a funding, and we ended up in the biggest fashion magazine in the world, in the 3 most important
It's
fashion
amazing.
magazines.
I think that's
No, but
it
what
does,
we mean,
just-
no, but what we
it's
mean is
fantastic.
that
It's a phenomenal
No,
story.
it does.
what we mean is that we open opportunity for young people
Yes.
to
Yeah.
also be part of this, to try to be part of an industry that is highly competitive. Now we open a new industry where they can also come and show their skills and they're creative.
Yeah.
Before
You
it's
don't
impossible.
need the technology to invest that much in technology. You can test your ideas if you're a creative person through AI, through your laptop. So you don't really need to invest in cameras and light and, find that beautiful supermodel. You can create it. And just, display your skill and see where that takes you.
Yeah,
really
now
beautiful.
it's beautiful because we are creating opportunities, we're creating jobs with we have photographers, developers. It's just different types of creatives. It's a
The
different
many job requests we receive.
it's a stage for different creatives, basically. So if photographers and models have a space in the industry, why cannot other types of designers also have a space in the industry? We're not here to replace you, but we also deserve an opportunity in the industry and to work together.
Valentina, Andreea, we wish you all the very best. You've absolutely blown it. We're so lucky to have got you at
Oh,
this
no,
time.
thank
Your
you so much.
inboxes must be overflowing. The phone's ringing off the hook. Everyone wants to work with you. We'll have to get you back on at some point. Tell us about some of the stuff that you couldn't tell us about.
Maybe in a few months.
Thank
In
you
a
so
few
much for
months.
coming
you.
Yeah,
in.
thank you so much,
Thank
guys. I
you.
really
Thank you.
appreciate it.